So many times I've been told to get better at things I don't like, and I'm sure this has happened to everyone else. And this sentiment is taken to an even further extreme when it comes to school. Except that you believe it. You believe you're only worth something if you're good at something you hate. You're told to work to live, not live to work. The biggest perpetrator to this is probably math. I know how agonizing it is just to do one fucking question, only to realize you messed up 13 steps ago. I could make this whole video about the school system.
Fuck school! Fuck all this bullshit! What the fuck?
But it's not the time for that. No, this video is about doing something you know you were not meant to. College. Everyone loves it. It's a reasonably priced, very social and happy environment for everyone. Let's cut the shit. No one likes being in college. Fuck, I'm not even in it yet and I hate it. College is depicted as a way to fulfill one's dreams. Sad to say, however, if your career is in anything other than engineering or medicine, then tough shit. People say that college is good for job security. You know what else is good for job security?
Alphabet soup. I made it special.
There's no point in going into a certain field if the job market is terrible. Seriously, how are you going to survive with a gender studies degree? Brother, it's sad to say, but employers are looking for things other than how you fill in the application form. That is, if there are any employers in that field. They don't teach you that because they don't care what you want. Such as John D. Rockefeller had stated, "I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers." John D. Rockefeller was an American business magnate. In fact, he was considered the wealthiest American of all time. Fuck you, Rockefeller. But he does have some merit in what he says. If there were no essential workers, society would crumble. You might agree and say a society with no workers is a bad society, which is true, but I'd argue a worse society is a one where no one can think. And yeah, this is kinda hyperbolic, as usually you get to choose your career and have more freedom later on by accumulating some money. But why would you want to stifle the essence of our humanity? Up until we were not being chased down by saber-toothed tigers, we have wondered about our existence. While the reason is up to debate, the driving force behind why humans persist to exist has been passion. Whether they were passionate in religion, science, art, anything, passion drove us forward. And you're telling me that we, as humans, would be better off to just work as if we were machines? All that does is fill the pockets of already successful people such as Rockefeller. I can't believe people would actually agree with Rockefeller's sentiment. If you agree with Rockefeller, you've obviously been a pampered lazy fuck all your life. You may lie to yourself and say, hey, that's just a harsh reality. That's a lie coming out of your mouth because you haven't lived a harsh reality. A place where you're forced not to dream is a place where you shouldn't live at all. As someone who lives in an immigrant family, I'm not always afforded to decide my own path, so I do know what it's like to live that reality. And to a certain degree it's understandable, because as I've been told, it's better to be safe than sorry. But in a lot of cases, playing it safe is way harder than playing it risky. And if not as hard, they also risk their well-being by working towards something they don't even like. And I can't imagine being forced into a medical career. Years of dedicated work that you never really intended to do. Me myself, I'm not an academically smart person, so taking this path is basically like living through hell. And yes, it's an obvious fact in life, you have to do things you don't want to, but you generally have to be good at them, or at least interested. Sinking your whole life into something you hate is a terrible reality to live in.
This shit look nasty as fuck!
Working your whole life into achieving something you never wanted is an unbearable pain. It's comparable to writing a test you've been studying weeks for. In one scenario, you may have gotten a good grade compared to your other ones. After the small satisfaction of seeing that number, you realize that it's just a fucking number. You feel null, no happiness nor sadness from it. However, when you receive a bad grade for something you've worked hard on, it hurts so much. You feel a deep sadness from it, even though as before it's just a number, it's affecting you so much. It's weird because in life you have to fail to succeed, but school doesn't give you that opportunity. So many times we're told we're not good because we did poorly in one aspect. One person could be bad at English yet good at everything else. Your life should not be dictated by whatever people see in you, good or bad. It should be an amalgamation of your actions that show who you truly are. Someone could be absolutely brain dead when it comes to math but has an extremely successful career. Each person has something to offer to the table. Except maybe Hitler, Stalin, Osama bin Laden. Point being, generally humans have a lot to provide. And maybe not always quote-unquote useful, such as art, it doesn't diminish what they have worked on. You might think you're useless because of the expectations someone else had put onto you, but only you can dictate what you want to do with your life. And you may be held back by negative people, but they'll pass with time. Don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. True words like these are rarely spoken. A fish is able to flourish in its natural environment, so why should you not be allowed to flourish in your own? People like to tell you to be a functioning member of society, but all you have to do is simply abide by the laws and live. If your main fucking goal in life is to keep breathing until 96, go for it. You are not less simply because you want to pursue your passion. A true functioning member of society would mind their own fucking business. That's really what this all boils down to. People that have given up on their passion reflect their sadness onto people pursuing their passion, not knowing that in life, failure is the only way to succeed. That juxtaposing quote had been the bane of my existence a few years ago. To put my experience with failure and understanding what I'm good at, I'll backtrack and tell you what my life was like a couple of years ago. A person completely devoid of motivation and discipline, to the point where I had wondered if my endeavors were actually going to be worth it. Was I just pursuing a pipe dream that wasn't going to lead to anything? Because the alternate options were either thrown out the window or were the ones I rejected. A career through academics at university or colleges would literally fucking kill me. Not surprising considering the suicide rates. Whatever I wanted to pursue in post-secondary was either not worth the pay or not worth the pain. Or both. Back then it crushed me to realize that my life was inevitably going down a path that I did not want to go down. However, as I grew through the years, it made me realize that it was just a way for me to grow and mature. Even if things don't turn out the way they do in my head, I can always revitalize them in the same direction. If what I do is what I truly love, then there is nothing more that I can hope for. Isn't that all humans have chased after? People might chase after materialistic items, but that's only because they've been attached to their passion in some type of way. Humans don't chase anything that doesn't have value to them specifically. A fish being forced to climb a tree is not a fish at all. It's only a facade that many have submitted to. But if more fish started going into the water, the environment would only flourish more. Despite how corny I sound, I do think my sentiment is right. We should strive to pursue the dream we have always had.